Hello students, we're going to look at the solution now to ma1026 book 2 chapter 3 sample quiz on page 39 of book 2, and this is the first multiple choice. Now this quiz is posted online and you should have tried it by now. So if not, you should stop the video, go try the quiz first. There's only 5 multiple choice I think in this quiz, maybe somewhere around there, and then come back and look at the solutions if you have any questions. So what is the lowest common denominator? Now I'm looking for the LCD, lowest common denominator, sometimes called the least common denominator, right? We're looking for the LCD. So we only need to look at the denominators. Don't care about the numerators, nothing here simplifies. So what's the lowest common denominator between 3x and 9y squared? There's several ways you can look at it, but remember you need a number. If you do the numbers first, you do like numbers normally. So what's the LCD between 3 and 9? And what's the lowest common multiple between 3 and 9? If you did a multiple list, which is the way some people teach them, multiple list, there's other ways to do it, but a multiple list, if you looked at 3, the first multiple of 3 is 3. The next multiple is 6. The next multiple is 9. 3 times 3 is 9, 12, and so on. And the multiples for 9, of course, are 9. 9 plus 9, 18, or 9 times 2, 18, 27. Well, we can already see the answer, so I'll just, right, we can see that the lowest or least common multiple that's common in both lists is 9. Okay, so far we need 9 as part of our denominator, right? Now you need one of every factor and the highest power of that factor. In other words, if there was a y in one and a y squared in the other, you'd pick y squared because both have to be able to divide into it. Okay, so here I got an x factor. Do I have any x in this term? No other x, so I know I need that. Right? Then I look at the next term. Okay, let me just get rid of that line, put x back there. Now I look at my next one, is y squared. Now let's compare those. Any other y squared in this term? No. Means I must have y squared as well. So 9xy squared will be my lowest common denominator. And I have to find that before you add and subtract. But we weren't asked to do anything else. Just find the lowest common denominator. So do your numbers first, then do one of every factor. You need one of every factor and the highest power of that factor. For example, just a little quick extension here. What if I gave you 3x squared y, and let's say I gave you 15xy squared? Then the LCD between these two would be what? Well, 15 for the number, and again I'll show you that you can do that on the calculator as well. Let's do that right now. Remember, you can do these LCDs on your calculator if you're ever unsure. Okay, so math, number, lowest common denominator. Let's see. Oh, there it is. LCM, number 8. I passed it. Okay, and then enter your two numbers. This case 3. Put a comma between. Comma's right there. 15, and you can only enter 2 at a time, and it tells you it's 15. So if you're not sure with the numbers, again, you can double check them on your calculator. What about the x squared, and x? Now look at the next ones. We got an x squared here, and we got an x here. See that? That means we have to take the highest power. It's the same factor x, except one has the same variable x, sorry, but one has a higher power. So you take the higher power, so I must take x squared. And if you compare y with y squared, again you have a variable y, but you take the higher power because both have to divide into that. So the LCD of this extra one would be this. Okay? So 9xy squared is the answer to the first one we did there, and then of course the answer is A. And this down here is a little extra. Let me put a box around that. That's just an extra question. Okay? Alright, hopefully you found that helpful.